this a gunman connection.
Rebel.
Cause this a gunman connection.
Tell them.
They say the M1 connected
To the M2.
the M2 connected
To the M3.
the M3 connected.
To the M4.
But you no mention the bush. I'm a thing called the gunman connection.
Special request to all gunner.
Hey!
We make the gun them back.
Do it, star.
Flash it.
Cause this a gunman connection.
Rebel.
Cause this a gunman connection.
Tell them.
They say the M1 connected
To the M2.
the M2 connected,
To the M3.
the M3 connected.
To the M4.
But you no mention the Bushmaster.
Rebel.
But you no mention the revolver.
Rebel.
We a go bust it for your corner.
Tell them. I me say them the youth dead. Them a murderer. Them no bust the Remington. Pure Bushmaster. Gunman.
Can you fit tell me where you get the gun from?
Yeah man, you must get it from the foreign land.
Or you must get it from the civilian.
Rebel. Tell them. Me say gunner.
And where you get the gun from?
Gunner.
Hey! Cause this a gunman connection. Yeah, German and this a gunman connection.
Do it, yeah. The gunman connection. Cause this a gunman connection. So make me tell you now the gunman connection.
Me say the M1 connected,
To the M2.
the M2 connected,
To the M3.
the M3 connected.
To the M4.
You no mention the Bushmaster,
Rebel.
and you no mention the revolver.
Rebel.
We a go bust it for your corner,
Murder.
because you come from the scene with the M16. You come from the scene with the M16. How much it fall in that got a 13? You go bust it from the scene.
Rebecca. I with me hand for me trigger figure kill of dirty nigga. Me hand for me trigger figure kill of dirty nigga. A music I'm on desire.
Me say what that, but me no fire one papa. What that, me no fire one papa. Cause anything me fire, it have to be bigger than that.
Bragada.
Hey, cause this a gunman connection.
Rebel.
Cause this a gunman connection.
So make me tell you we're gonna nice up the nation.
But tell ya man, the M1 connected,
To the M2.
and the M2 connected,
To the M3.
and the M3 connected.
To the M4.
You don't mention the Bushmaster.
Rebel.
And you no mention the revolver.
Why?
And you no mention the 3-8, sir.
Rebel.
We a go bust it for your corner.
Do it.
Because the music we charge for. Because the music we charge for.
Lie.
We not go charge for no murder.
Whoa.
We not go charge for we black brother.
No.
We say our music we charge for.
Music I'm on desire.
Billy boy, yo.
Little John.
And music we charge for higher.
I don't deal with man. I don't go to Manchester or Mandeville. And I believe things are going to happen. I don't use the word manifest. And if there is a problem, I don't use a manual. You understand? I don't even have no manners, you know, sir. And this DJ is very talented. A lot of them are hypocrite and they don't like him. Here we go!
Say what a bam bam, kalanga langa langa lang bam bam. I me say what a bam bam, kalanga langa langa lang. They do a something, they that tell a man. Me is a youth no from Westmoreland, originate from down at Clarendon. Bam bam, I me say what a bam bam. Oh yeah. Should have trouble this man, Jaja know it won't gonna bring a bomb. Remember Kokoti and Comfy nice obsession. The words from them would be what they might in on me on. Oh yo 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 yo, oh yo yo yo, I live you. Should trouble this your sound, 'cause this a song ya at the top of the town. Children, this is when you come to show them. Alright. Remember Coco TV at the microphone stand. Me hold the mic down in my little hand. I Coco TV come here from this session. Dance me up and sing one song. Galang 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 galang. Bam bam da 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 da. Bata bam bam out the East Portland. Boy yo yo yo.
I don't deal with man. I don't go to Manchester or Mandeville. And I believe things are going to happen. I don't use the word manifest. And if there is a problem, I don't use a manual. You understand? I don't even have no manners, you know, sir. And this DJ...
For us, who can be against us? If Jah is for us, us? Who can be against us? So make we do the best we can and never do the wrong. Aye-yo, why-yo, yo, aye-yo, ah, boy. So do good, and good will follow you. Oh, do good, and good will follow you. Aye-yo, oh. 'Cause the youth of today will be the man of tomorrow. I want you to sing with me, youth of today will be the man of tomorrow. I want you with me now. So come back, we giants and eyes. Here we go, come back, come back with giants and eyes. Well, come back now, come back with giants and eyes. Well, if Jah is for us, who can be against us? If Jah is for us, who can be against us? Oh, and if Jah is for us, Lord, and if Jah is for us, who can be against us? Who can be against us?
I don't deal with man. I don't go to Manchester or Mandeville. And I believe things are going to happen. I don't use the word manifest. And if there is a problem, I don't use a manual. You understand?
Me done with it. Me done with it. Me done with it. One. I've been suffering for so long, and now the time has come for change. I've been suffering for so long, and now the time has come for change. Me say me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the suffering. One. Me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the lean boot. Hey. Me say me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the suffering. Boy. If you see me on the corner, alright. Don't take I man for no laughter. 'Cause I is seeking for better. Alright. Just looking at my face, you see my future. That's why me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the lean boot. One. Me done with it, me done with it. Done with it completely. Hey. Me done with it. Me done with it. Lord of mercy. Yes. I've been suffering for so long, and now the time has come for change. I've been suffering for so long, and now the time has come for change. Me say me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the suffering. Go on. Me say me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the suffering. Hey. Every man have them time. Alright. I'm seeking for the future, not what's behind. If you see me on channel one corner, oh yes, me a beg you sir, make me do a song, sir. Because me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the suffering. One, me done with it, me done with it. Me done with the limbo. Hey, me done with it. Me done with it. Me done with it. Me done with it. Me done with the suffering. Me done with it.
I don't deal with man. I don't go to Manchester or Mandeville. And I believe things are going to happen. I don't use the word manifest. And if there is a problem, I don't use a manual. You understand? I don't even have...
Me no run down woman. Me no run down boss. Yeah. Alright. Oh yes. Me no run down woman. Me no run down boss. Alright. Me no run down woman. Me no run down boss. Cause if you run them down, then me run left you. Alright. Say if you run them down, then me run left you. Hey, me no run down boss, me can't take the force. Alright. And me no run down girls to carry me round the world. Me no choke badness, cause that's a madness. Alright, alright, alright. I want to know. Oh yes. Yeah. Me no run down boss. Alright. Yeah. Boy. Yeah. Alright. I man don't like the embarrassment. Alright. Cause embarrassment make me silent. So if you want me and you fit in a rumpus, alright.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Mix up in a cause, yeah. Me no run down boss, me no run down woman. Alright.
Read him up.
Me no run down boss, me no run down woman. Cause if you run them down, then me run leave you. Alright. Say if you run them down, then we'll leave you. Yes. Me no make no fuss. Me no run down boss. Yes. One.
Non-stopping, hot rockin', back-to-back music, the hits just keep coming. Non-stopping, hot rock. rocking. Back to back music, the hits just keep coming.
Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Well now, see the girl, she a come right in her booty. Although I go to Jano, we not ready. The girl come to just a rally with me. Another one say she coming on me knee. Me need no fit girl, we have not me. But still the damn girl, she just a rock with me. Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Well now, come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Because a long time we no have a nice time. Oh, come me brethren, make we move on the line. Move on the line so we have to feel fine. Rub it in the dancer tonight. Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Come along, slow and easy, rocking with me, slow and easy, get down. I say the girl she a come right.
Bomber job, damn you!
I love her booty, it no ready. The girl she a come and she a move with me. One she a come right in a minute. I love me need a big girl, we have not need. She just a rally with me, oh yeah. So come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Say come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Because a long time we no have no nice time. Oh no, come me brother, make me move on the line. Long time we no have no nice time.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Oh yeah, let's get body whoa. Because some of them are sport them sensi, and some of them are do it to feel irate. Some of them are sport them sensi, some are do it to feel irate. But I witness me just a go to the party, say me happy, feel hearty. Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Say come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Well now, I say the girl walk up right in her booty. I love her booty, it no ready. The girl she a come, she just a rally with me. Another one right in her mini. Say mini no fit girl we have not me. But still this a girl she just a sugar past me. Come along, I make we have some nice time tonight. Whoa, come along. Under the moon, the star and the sun. Yeah, little girl, make me start rub it down. Under the moon, the star and the sun.
Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music. Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music. Yeah, man, of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Some say them are Jehovah Witness. Some say them are Adventist. Some say them are Anglican. I am the Rasta man. Some say them are Jehovah Witness. Some say them are Adventist. Some say them are Anglican. I am the Rasta man. Pray to the God's master. Surely bring disaster. You fight against the Rasta man, and you don't know Jah, don't know Jah, don't know Jah. Jah means love me. Some say them Some say them a diplomat. Some say them a aristocrat. Some say them a your friend. Some say them a my friend. Some say them a Jehovah's Witness. Some say them a Adventist. Some say them a Anglican. I am the Rasta man. Some say them a Jehovah's Witness. Some say them a Adventist.
Yeah, man of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music. Yeah, man of the roots once again. Rockers reggae music.
Hold fast, never let go. Oh yeah, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. Yes, hold fast. Hold fast, never let go. Oh yeah, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. Yes, hold fast, never let go. 'Cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. They say it's a big white desert, and there's a lot in it to find. Don't let the sunstorm blow your mind, or the pestilence that crawleth by night. Although the way be long and rough, Jaja children, you know we just don't do enough. Just shout and he will be your guide, and he will always be by your side. Hold fast, never let go, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. Hold fast, never let go. Oh yeah, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. Hold fast, never let go. Oh yeah, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. Like a plaster, hold fast, never let go. Oh yeah, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play. They try everything to keep I and I down, but you always be I and I still. So Jah brought forth I and I out of this desert. For Jah is love, and there is no fear. Hold fast, oh yeah, never let go. We say we want, 'cause we want them to know. Sticky stay we play.
Yes, greetings, evening. Time now is 7:33. We just come with some musical disc. Yeah, we are trying out a thing, see what go on. You know, because we drop a conversation on Tuesday and we drop some rhythms also. But a lot of people have lost it because it got blocked. So we still try and find out if it's because we don't play them vagina tune them and gun tune that is causing a problem. So we're going to look at Islam and behavior, and we're going to look at what is has interrupted us and our children because they're upon the street.
Jah never forsake you. Jah love you. I know my Jah love me. Yes, I know Jah will never leave I alone. Yes, I know Jah with me wherever I go. Oh yeah, yeah. Jah loves forevermore. Make them talk, them evil talk. Let them do their wrongs. Oh. Their heart is filled with hate and grudge. My heart is filled with love. I'd rather be the firelight. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Burning through the dark. 'Cause I know my Jah love me. Yes, I know Jah will never leave I alone. Yes, I know Jah with me wherever I go. Oh yeah, yeah. Jah loves forevermore. He's my strength through the rocky. So I don't get weary, no, no. Over the hills and through the valley, yeah. 10,000 round about me. Oh yeah, I fear not of them in highs and lows. Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause Jah is powerful. And I know Jah love me. Yes, I know Jah will never leave I alone. Yes, I know Jah with me wherever I go. Oh yeah, yeah. see the fire bright. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Burning through the dark. 'Cause I know my Jah love me. Yes, I know Jah will never leave I alone. Yes, I know Jah with me wherever I go. Oh yeah, in my heart forevermore. Yes, I know my Jah love me. Yes, I know my heart forevermore.
A wicked tune that.
You have given us a lot.
Yo.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just thank you for the birds and the bees. To thank you for the breeze and the trees. The sun, the moon, and the stars.
You see, when I listen to something like that now, you know, I say it's spiritual. You know, I say deep-rooted culture and it's spiritual. It's sweet. So I'm going to interrupt it still. And that is Mr. Sugar Minor. Yeah, God bless him soul. Now we are say that the what has been influencing our children and even us. And we haven't had a summit to across the country to try and see if we can figure out all that is happening to us and our children, particularly our children. And the massive amount of lives, young lives that are being lost. And there's a mass amount that has been hurt severely. Some wounds are so effective that the individuals have lost the use of limbs, etc. And it seems to not show any sign of abating. And me always say that, felt that the system knows what is actually taking place. So why is they playing political gymnastics and Brexit is the netball? What happened is that no real emphasis has been placed, even from the mayor and the new Home Officer, in relation to the crime, youth crime, the street crime, the knives, the guns, whatever is out there, that so much lives are being taken, has been taken, and are being taken. So all the popular radio station, them national station, they're playing political gymnastics and Brexit netball at the same time. And then you hear things like taser. Should we would like to make tasers available in the possession of all officers. Why not? But you know, you use the taser as a backdrop for the real thing you want to do, which is issue guns to regular police. And as long as I'm here and alive, I will say no to that. But then again, me understand this is for your country. The only problem is the people them who is going to get dead, that those guns are going to be used upon, is black people. And some of our people them that think not, you're an idiot. I mean, I have no time for no sweet talk. You're an idiot. You understand? Because you make believe say that you have it locked down, or you have some kind of relationship through your assimilated, and you're not blind. Those who behave this way, they're not blind. Neither are you deaf. But you feel say that you've got the drop on the bureaucratic side of England or London. Nah, it don't work so. It doesn't. Them just see you as a jackass. You see? And if you can manipulate me, you're useful for a time. That's it. You understand? That's why we name people like that Rufuses. You see, these roast breadfruit that would say and do anything, and they did not grow up on a plantation. So we must understand that they're lacking reality of the black African legacy. This is what it is. And since we don't have no institution, who is there to actually bring them up to speed? So it also becomes a situation whereby them too hard, you know? So they won't have no time for our environment. That's why we have to understand that we don't have no black community, you know? We have areas where black people reside within. Our communities, when we have some form of structure, some infrastructure taking place within. You understand? Every other place that we are, there's another whose community it really is. You understand? And that's usually the Chacha man, or the Greek, or the Turkish. And if it's the Greek or the Turkish, them only have the business there. Them live elsewhere. So it's usually the Chacha man. And them have all the franchising. You see? Because we're the consumers. So, what is actually not being projected, but it slips through the tabloids, is the amount of drugs, the hardcore drugs that is on the streets and in the countryside, in places that you would never dream. So you know, say that it's well organized, orchestrated. And they're catching some multi-billion pound structures, setups. Now, what's this got to do with their children? So how is their children becoming mules? Who's turned them into mules? How is this thing being exercised and moving from outer London, the countryside, the country villages, the rural areas, into the city? Work it out. And maybe some of you don't know already. Are you done summarize the situation? Are you not caring about the next person's children? Because all you're concerned with is what you're earning. But you see, when you deal with these European people, a deaf cat, you're going to get. You see? One, you don't speak for them language. And two, you don't know their backatives. Serious problem. But really, that is for the police to deal with. Hear what me I say now. Big and bold. That which happened in the 60s and the mid-70s, through the early 70s, 60s, early 70s to the Black Panther, the infiltration and then the entrapment of drugs everywhere and marked guns everywhere is an exercise that is done, known and proven and worked countless time against black people. Because the fear of us being organized is a fear, it's a genuine fear. And who's this us? Is we the Caribbean people. But what may I try to show when I say, forget that word there now. Is we the children of the slaves. If we understand how we have come of age without having a language and without having any historical references for ourselves, and it's just our God-given science, which is the best way to put it, from spiritual enlightenment, a God-given science to conquer fear and all forms of adversities, and yet still be in the home of the slave master's children and academically able to not just challenge but to rival them in their own institutions, in their own land. Why would we not be feared? I told you Tuesday, Enoch Power sussed it. It's just that those who made reference to what he was saying and what he projected only went to where he saw an infringement, and he spoke about the infringement, and they elaborated on the infringement, but not about the prosperity and what it was that would bring about that infringement. Because what it was is our ingenuity, our courageousness, our academical striving, our arts of excellence. And since they saw that we were together, and if we were to retain that togetherness, those visionaries of that day felt that that would be dangerous for their society. Not that we would have caused them troubles, but their citizens would not like it. They would see it and they'd be hurt by it, and they would want something to be done immediately. So we saw, if you to look back, the rise of many groups under the same umbrella that wells to the British movement, and all these groups were then, we saw the rise of them. We saw the rise of what is declared as racism. We saw the harshness of that throughout all forms of institutions, not just the Teddy Boy, the Greaser, the Hells Angels, and the British Party and the National Front and these things. No, right across the board. So if we run this horror movie, this horror film to 2000 or the 90s, there's an advancement in education. When we were under so much pressure in terms of housing and in terms of employment, or in regards to housing and employment. But social services have removed chastising. They've interfered with our culture structure. So we could not. Many families wouldn't dare, because the new legislated law has said that it's barbaric, it's medieval, it's abuse. So the strap was removed, and a different generation of children were exercising themselves in England. They were our children, but they were not managed, guided by us. And I say manage in the sense that we had very little reaction or response to them, because most of that has been taken away from us to school and educational social workers and care social workers, welfare workers. And many families were in fear of losing their children, and many did lose their children to care services. Led up to where we are now. And we was here long time. And because we didn't have no other alternative, or we didn't have a collective, those who saw it couldn't find people to sit and strategize and develop a blue paper to go down to Downing Street, into the Commons, into the Lords, into race relation, into welfare services, into educational directorates, and make all of our claims for ourselves. It's called welfare. Didn't happen. We lost the race relation department, but not the department, the officers or the administration to that, which I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Trevor Phillips. He's the last one I know. And the one before him that was still in there was Mr. Trevor Carter, who passed. And may God bless him and bless his soul. as someone I knew and knew me. So, this exercise, where is it being spoken about? Because a lot of the people who do know what I am alluding to, they were here. They prospered as civil servants. They were also employed as statutory civil servants, because that's what it is. Have anyone heard them? Because many of them deem that if they speak, it would affect their position, and they cannot criticize or seem to be criticizing the very department to which they are working within or employed. That's a scared black man and woman. And I always try to figure that out. You spent more than 4 years in college or university graduating for that position. No one ever gave it to you. It's your own intelligence and perseverance, tolerance, family motivation that got us those statutory positions. I'm saying all this to say, look at the contrast between what now has happened, that where we are consumers, the children of those same people are now strong in British politics and statutory departments when they were never there. But that's good same way. But if you look at the comparison to how they operate and to how we operated, and now we're not even sound bites today. We're not. We're the ones that they don't require anymore. We're stale goods. Because we did not develop a constituency when those were moving themselves into politics. That's when an area, communities should be developed, because that individuals need the vote of its constituency to maintain the position as local councillor or MP of that constituency. I tell you. And that's not new, me I say no. It's just that we ain't there. Now, principal send me something where some people that deal with something and, they're reflecting CLR James and this and that. But there's some fraudulent people sitting in that. There's some celebrity people in that did sweet fuck all for black people in England. Why me for say it again? They did sweet fuck all for black people in England. But they're in it. They're in they're part of the whole panel. They didn't do nothing. They're the hustlers. They're the fraudulent jackasses. Are them. And now I think fear have caught hold of many of them. And just in case what I predict or should happen happens, they're trying to rally. Invite me, you punks. Just invite me. Invite me and invite people from Hackney, the London Borough of Hackney. Invite people them from Islington, the London Borough of Islington. Invite people from Camden. And then invite people them from Lewisham. And I won't say Brixton, I would say Clapham. Yes, just send that invitation. If you're not scared of your own shadows. Don't bank on it that all of those individuals have died. No. Don't bank on that. One thing you must try and remember, I'm a son of somebody or somebodies. Yes. And there's many more of me's. We are children of those who you tried to rub shoulders with back then. And you've been just trying to figure out who the hell is this guy. And the only thing that God has done for you is just showed you me by myself. But it's not me by myself, Don't fool yourself. Yourselves, seriously. Our children, your grandchildren, because you was able to afford a 300,000 to 400,000 pound house in certain parts of some boroughs, you feel you've escaped. Nah, your conscience kill you. And then when someone says, Bessie's saying this, and this, and this, you say, oh my God. Is he calling their names yet? He's always threatening people. I ain't threatening nobody. It's never too late to be wholesome, to be sincere, to be honest and truthful. Dog that eat dog is bad dog. My mother and my grandfather and my grandmother, them tell me that, and it's true. It's so true, man. That's why I come to England and see. Dog that eat dog. These are black dog. Eating dog. And make believe in certain environments that the same dog you eat, that you support. You might as well eat the swine. Enough of that. So, there's so much drugs. Them say them one time, them say them have cocaine. Large amount. And now, them say it's heroin. And them do a spreadsheet. Now, I have to follow this up and see what the tabloids them show. But them say 120 million pound haul. You see? So why is all the gymnastics is taking place, and why is the netball Brexit is taking place, and why is Javid and his sister, his brother, and his partner from his region is in the mayor's office, and then he's speaking about how much money he's going to reward put out for tasers as well as for police and raising the numbers and training, and so people who don't listen carefully, it's not that police officers not there now. It's just that technology is being used. And if you're going to recruit more police, there have to be, you're creating an employment drive. So in that drive, you have to train them. So people, they probably remove a couple of qualifications so that instead of being 5 or 6 year level and GCSE and 3 year level, they may have made it more easier to become a police. I don't know. So there's a lot of money for police training. There's a lot of money for recruiting police. Enough millions, man. It's into the billions. Someone turned on and said that austerity. Let me read the thing properly because I don't want to say what them never say. No. You see? Yeah, because we need to pay attention to a lot of things that's going on. Yeah, man, them say say that he must go spend 13.4 billion, right? Why them don't have no money? The government don't have the money. When they had a prime minister, the female, she was there. They must say, them have such short of money and them need money for fix up this Brexit thing and so forth. But this guy here come from the Home Office now and him gone as Chancellor. I don't know about him qualification now. Cause that's what I'm saying. The black man's them and women them that was out there before. You see? It's either they weren't mentally equipped or intellectually equipped. Something. Because these people have surpassed every mark that we did set. So that goes to show you that I'm not no jackass. I tell you, say these people are just mouthpiece. The black ones, them that we have that goes up there. They must swing and dine and dance for their money. And they must use we as fodder. This man here are control the British, England, international finance. You think I drop this? Is a serious position? Okay. A serious position. And him brother is top brass in the police. Top brass. But we have a whole heap of jackass that want to come up here and teach them and train them how to be hostile to us, how to brutalize us. These wicked, rotted ones that come from the Caribbean as trainers. Why am I saying? You're saying the Asian people out there complaining about police brutality. I tell you, man, we we're off the mark. We spend too much time in playing amusement. We're well off the mark. I'm going to show you another thing. The other day, them start talking about chicken box. And them say something about knife and chicken box. And nobody can tell me, say, where anyone that sell chicken, them and the box and everybody, there's a knife. Forget that rotted. A lie. Hey, that was heads up nationally for the wrongdoings and the wrong practices under the new scrutiny of health, food and health. And with all them dirty chicken and bad chicken that meant to be disregarded, dash way, that these people take and put batter on them quick and sell them for 99p with chips and a drink. Come on, people. Are you not stupid? Are you mad? Eh? Think about it. And it's our children. And these shops are in the vicinity of all schools. $99p. Chicken, chips, and a drink. Come on. You understand? And you go them shop there and you see a drink is £1 or 80 something pence for a canned drink. Even a Ribena. So how the hell them get these drinks and a portion of chip, and 6 chicken wing. Anyway, that was a heads up for their people who have so much money invested in these shops, so they can make the amendments to their income. We would not done that. Dan Abbott would have gone off and sneeze and go carnival and listen star. And Lammy, he would try to figure out which way to talk. Nothing. And them sort that out. You don't hear a damn crack from the mirror about this vicious cycle and the fact that school dinners are there. So how is it that so much of the children them just go to chicken shop? What is the ruling on this? How come so much children them is outside every lunchtime? There used to be rules, man. It's either you bring food, your own packed lunch, or you have state lunch. You pay for that. None of this going out and supply yourself. But go to certain communities and see. That don't work. The first one I say is what works. That's what's legislated. So you see these areas where we are the highest population. Anything goes. So now we have Mr. Seek charging Boris, or accusing Boris of being racist. Go ahead, my son. Mr. Singh, go ahead. You understand? Push hard. But when you look now, you see that they're all showing themselves. Rightly so. Because them have key positions. You see, Sikhs now building houses. Sikhs are builders. Builders, man. They're not there in the temple. They're not just there in the cash and carry. They've been in the building thing, learning the building thing now since the beginning of the 80s. Now they're buying up plots of land and building. They have them architecture group and so forth. Look at us. We have mechanics around the corner and underneath the bridges and so on. we lose with positioning, and not 2 or 3 or 4 come together and have one major mechanic business. That's all it takes. 2 or 3 of them man if come together and say, watch, let me just do this. I specialize in this, you specialize in that, and everything. We just do this thing and just have one multi garage. It stays an individual, and push come to shove and don't knock you out. And now we are scavengers. We are try. I tell you, man, people not. There's no visionaries around. I tell you. So, we have these racial elements, and it's good to see that an Asian is championing that move there. Yeah? Yeah, man, it's good to see. But you see now, if we was to say to them that, which I really want us to do, you know, them couldn't have got that far without our fathers. The same thing with Webster and all of them, you know, and why we have carnival is because our fathers, them knuckle up them fists and show these bad-minded, ruthless individuals that felt we were pushovers and were beating us up and smashing up our women and all kind of thing like this, especially around the hospitals, you know? It's the black man that gave the Asian them safety. Give them protectorate with no fees attached. You know, because a little more in East London, it was the, what them call themselves? Them set up groups, man, that you had to pay protection rackets. My father and my uncle, them, they weren't, and my brothers, they weren't involved in them kind of foolishness. And they weren't foolishness really, but them kind of gangster thing, no. You understand? We was on the humanitarian thing. There many Asian people from Finsbury Park all the way up to Commercial Road, all the way up to Eastham, got refuge because they were beaten up and burned out. And look at them. They forgot all about us. They never even shared Islam. Them kept it to themselves, private. And today they're trying to say that they were much scared of us. We weren't beating them. You see? So all I'm trying to say really is that we choose wrong friends and we don't know when we choose a friend, what the hell is it that we want from this friend? You see? That's the thing. That's why there's so much abuse of black people them down there Peckham with all the Asian man shops them about the place and then them woman that feel say the man like them because him get a little money and them skin up themselves for him and everything and this type of nonsense. So when the man them attack them for say, watch out, behave yourself, you know, come, remember you're an African woman. The sister them a cuss we for the Asian shopkeeper and the Asian guy that a hug her up and give some what Icamos. Listen, we have to realize that the only change that's there is us. It's us. So the drugs, the push 'em in, the entrapment, all these things has been set up and put out there, and our children being vulnerable. We're vulnerable. We are the Killer Mile in Hackney. Anyone forgot? There's some bad things that happened across that borough. And we didn't control it. It wasn't us. We always get the crossfire. And then certain individuals try to feel so that them can move in. When you reflect on that, they mashed down Sandringham Road. So there was not a front line. After them mash up the front line of Brixton, the whole project was to remove black elders off the street. You know them places that we call front lines and all the shubbeens, they removed them. No, we didn't have nothing. So that social education, that strong development, streetwise and street knowledge, that went. So a new brand came, and that brand became law enforcement. Using, abusing, and entrapping. Some people them use the community centers and the youth clubs as a refuge. That's why in these boroughs, the local authorities remove them, pull the plug. So now we're finished. Have you cited that? No, you don't cite how it happened. You just know so that these resources have disappeared. How it happened is the key. Not the fact that it disappeared, how it happened. And these guys that principal sent me that they're going to all come together and talk and remember Bernie Grant and this and that. No, all of them is part of the whole thing. These were meant to be the wise men that the government, the authorities gather and give them a luncheon, and they all talked about where they see the future for us and where they see things going. Yeah, that's how it worked. Let them tell me a lie. I can say this because guess what? My mother guided me through my statutory employment. My mother. See? She vetted the job description. And she made clear to me what I do and what I don't do. And she knew what her son aspirations were. So she said, you stick to that. And if that can't work, leave that alone. Because you have skills in your fingers. No one can take them from you. You're not master of all trades, or you're not, what? It's a saying she used, you know. We don't want the children to master of all trades. Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah, something like that. You understand? And as I grew and I start throwing my fishing net over at the place, I realized what she was saying. I realized a lot of things that Mom was saying. You see? Jack of all trade and master of none. That's it. And she said, that is good, but that's not going to take you through life. So get some skills in those 10 fingers that God give you, and in that head, that brain, yeah, put something in there. And then you can choose what you want. But now you have this job with the government. This is how you have to do this thing. Because we always wanted to get to to the top. And it's got to be for a reason. Make us better. They're going to pay you either which way. So just make us better. Make your generation better. Help those in your immediate vicinity. And that's what I have been about. So all my brethren, them that got Bullmersh, Ainsbury Hill, and Goldsmith and these places, a lot of them are fuckery. I say it again, a lot of them are fuckery. Because them go get qualified and they did nothing for anybody. They did nothing and still don't do anything for anyone. And the government is who pays. So what the hell are you doing there? You're a hustler. Anyway, them can scrap this one, you know. I don't care a damn. I'm going to tell your friend that best said this. What the fuck that can it do to me? Nothing. Yes, so that's that. I have to get that off my chest. You see what I mean? So, we are going to America right now and show the world, say, that instead of the man that keeps threatening people and creating all these problems, Africa have to understand something. The black man that was the president, the half a man that was the president of America, that carried an Islamic name, a Muslim name, and put AFROCOM in America. The president that is there now, everything that that man set up in America, that man they changed, that man remove. But one team now remove all you black people who keep looking and talking on a bullshit. Him now remove AFROCOM from the continent of Africa. No. And Barack Hussein Obama put that there. The other team don't remove is the drones attack or the drones stations that them have for international war, international mercenaries, international killing. Yes, they don't remove them. Barack set up more than Bush, more than the two Bushes. You understand? And him do it to a higher level than those other two. Because him just give them, tell them, researchers, keep moving. We need to make this thing more tight, I know, more vigorous. That's why them could have sit down in the White House, allegedly, and them said them a watch what take place in India or some place where them say them had Al-Qaeda chief, the Al-Qaeda, Bin Laden, and them called Clinton in, Hillary, Barack, and others. And them say them a sit down and them a watch the movie. Y'all forgot that, innit? So this man here now, him no remove them things. They're looking after their interests in Afghanistan, which is oil, which is pipes, you know. Yeah. Carrying out oil and everything. Yeah, they're looking after it. And anybody who breach their thing, them zap them. Stay right over there, sir, and zap them over there, sir. Okay. But in Africa, there's AFROCOM, these bases that they have in strategic regions on the continent. And they're also training people, what for? To represent them. And when they find that we're trying to do certain things, they will create, what you call the thing? coups. And you know that the Caribbean, we're full of guns, and we have to ask the question, where the hell these guns come from? So you see now, right on the continent now, instead of keep calling the people them corrupt, they were always having coups. And then them set up a thing called the International Criminal Court. And the white guy go there now. It's just the guy from Suva the Bosnia conflict, that racial conflict, the ethnic cleansing conflict. Him go there. But everything else is black. Has been, it still is. You don't get no Blair for lying. You don't get the Bush them for lying and killing, ordering the death of hundreds of thousands of Iraqis. You see? Anything that happens that they do is lawful killing, you know. Anybody else barring them that do something, a murder. It's murder. You understand? Once Britain, France, and America and them sanction something and they work together, it's lawful killing. And it's regime changing, or this particular person is a menace to the free world, and so. And that's how it works, isn't it? So what is Africa? What is AFRICOM? What is all this? Because some people are shout out, China, China. But may I try showing you something, you know? Margaret Thatcher make arrangements with the Chinese to bring industrial changes in this country. Upgrade technology in this country through the Chinese. It's how you handle your affairs. You see? So instead of sitting back here over here and saying something that you don't know what's going on over there, you should have found out. And then someone like me and those who understood or understand or think we do, we should be speaking to our ambassadors, not ours, the African ambassadors, the cultural administration and so forth, pertaining to that, or reflect them to what Margaret Thatcher did, the British government did. Yeah? You remember Datsun? You remember Nissan? Honda? All these belong to these people. You see these industrial estates all came from these people. And it created a new industrial revolution in this country. At the same time, we have right to buy. And at the same time, new towns that were there by labor in Harold Wilson time became a flourishing areas. You understand? Because the coal mine got licked. A lot of people needed to be trained to put food in them belly. We witnessed this in England. So, if our African counterparts are just going to sell off a 170-year lease to land, an idiot. That you need to look at. If they're going to sell off areas that the Chinese have already gone and done their homework, their mapping work with their technology, and they know, say that X resources is such and such place, well, I would do the same anyway, but if they've done such and such a thing, then it is not to lease the goddamn land to them. Them can do the excavation and everything and so forth, and we can, because they do the work, we can share. You understand? Because that's for we land, or my land, or my home, or whatever the case may be. But to give her 200 years and 170 year lease. No, you're foolish. You're foolish, because in a short space of time, I'm gone. And then the next stock comes. And that 170 starts from when the next person comes. You don't understand these things. This is maths, you know. Right? So, and plus, your technology is removing these resources from our soil. And since we don't know nothing about the technology as well, because about training, see, that's why Mrs. Thatcher's strategy got to be used. I don't know how much coltan you're removing, because in Congo, it's the Yahudi, it's the Ashkenazis that control the diamonds over there. How the hell is that happening? Are them that market the diamonds. So when Charles Taylor did a thing, them saying around, they said, no, them diamonds, they're not legitimate. Because them have to have, and them have to look, and have to have a particular cut, and if they don't, these people outlaw them. You see? You lot forgot all these things, innit? I tell God that him not give me amnesia. You see? And I gotta make sure me don't eat nothing from people and drink nothing from the body. Cause they try poison me. You see? So these are the things that's been happening and are happening, and people have to realize. Yeah. So we're gonna show you say Iran and what brother name? Yeah, wait. Listen. Big sound, listen. Come on, man.
Nuclear weapons, guns, and ammunition. Down in Iran. Stop the war down there now. Down in Iran. You're ruining the atmosphere. Nuclear weapons, bombs, and ammunition. Down in Iran. Stop the war down there. How can our children live in godliness when every day it's just war all over? Down in Iran. Stop the war down there now. Down in Iran. Stop the war down there. Whoa. Stop the war down there now. Down in Iran. Stop the war down there. I'm begging you. Down in Iran. You're ruining the atmosphere.
Yeah, man. You see, that was back then, you know. You know, see. So you have to understand that remember that we were so far ahead of things. You see, and that's the thing when somebody else say bring back, huh? So you don't accept that you did dash away something. You understand? So in Islam now, today me go look my first teacher. You understand? That came out to the Nation of Islam and became a student of Imam Worthy Muhammad, and then came to England and set up school. You see? Yeah, set up school. And today his son, Abdul Nazar, was buried. So here's how we do things. And pay attention. Our flight details. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Flight details. Ticket, one way. Price, absolutely free. Booking confirmed. Passenger details. Name, one of the children of Adam. Origin, from clay. Address, planet Earth. Conditions of travel. Departure, from life or earth. Destination, eternal life. Stopover, grave. Grave, meter under the ground for one person. Duration of flight, for a couple of seconds to several millions of years. Yeah? Duration of flight, Departure of time. The time of death, exact time is not known. You understand? Arrival time on the day of judgment. Information about interrogation on arrival to the grave. Two angels would be questioning each soul on arrival into the grave. Whether you want to believe it or not, but you want to be spiritual, you better understand certain facets that happens in that dimension. Question 1, who's your God? Question 2, who's your prophet? Question 3, what is your religion? The questions will follow about your life on earth. For more information, refer to the Quran, Surah 14, verse 27. Luggage. Sorry, luggage. Despite the fact that the air transforms only one passenger and a time on the resurrection and amount of baggage that you can take with you. You can only take 5 meters of white cloth. What is this that I am reading, and what is this that we have done? Is that the journey here is from Adam and Hawa, and that journey was naked, and that journey was clay and water, and the journey from here is but the same. No matter how much I accumulate, how much wealth I accumulate, how much luxuries I accumulate, how much wife or wives I may have, no matter what it is, you ain't taking it with you. You're not taking it with you. You see? So, it is to have a good innings. Find God in our lives. We say Allah, in our lives and do the best we can for our fellow man. And we are birds, so we should flock together. No one knows the second. And no one can expand or delay that second. These are things that Pastor and I work with, and I feel a shepherd would have worked with them thing there. I would hope. You see? So when we become a janaza, a cops, and we never take good care of our lives, our innings, we leave our families, our loved ones, in a lot of misery. Not just the misery of missing us, but we never take good care of ourselves. So that transition cannot be favorable. That word is a serious word, you know. Yeah. You see? So, to have an institution to teach ourselves, to guide ourselves, to help elevate ourselves, is what has been missing and is missing. To have people that call themselves ambassadors, that's supposed to have a vested interest at hand and look after their subjects, to which it doesn't happen, then you can see why there is a problem. To realize that we're Africans and realize the fact that we're children of the slaves. And it's just not a sound bite. Then there's demands. It's demands. To know who we are, or were, or are, is very important. Where's this thing? It's very important. What them say? Here to stay and here to fight. You see? Yeah. Lots of people. Anyway. Brother Herman, I don't see them have your name in there. They don't know you. Courtney Tallock, we don't see them have your name in there. Oscar Abraham, we don't see you having the name in there. Brother Sam, we don't see you have your name in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, pioneers, these people I know. What's she name? What's she name? Harriet Tubman. She's not there. Yeah. Anyway, we will deal with them. Oh, Crispin Hill, you're not in there either. And not Val Saunders. The Beacon Bookshop. Mr. LaRose, John LaRose. Oh, gosh, man. You see? So you're in a special place. Yeah. Yeah, man. You understand? Walter Rodney. I don't know why they put Walter in there with these people. But if you're remembering people, I tell you. You see? So you don't put Marcus Garvey. You know? The person who made this possible, really, his name is not even up here. And it's Michael Smith. Michael Smith. You see? And God bless him soul. You understand? Him come from Jamaica and show we all these things that these people are putting here. So, yeah. Michael Prophet.
Hold up your roots. Hold up
Hey, I'm not just on a critical thing, you know. That don't put food in my face. That you know what I mean, to criticize because I can doesn't energize me. So don't get this thing twisted in any which way, any fashion. You understand? Is not criticizing the people, you know. It make it known that any of these people, I mean I call them name, but any of these people didn't do justice in the positions that they occupied, and they weren't paid by us. So how the hell they negate their responsibility? It's just like a man that turn around and breed a woman, him say him did love her and everything, so him sex her and everything else, and then she fall pregnant. Him before him even did that, before she get pregnant, him gone somewhere else because him just have this appetite and him feel him is that dan of woman, right? And so on. Then the woman show him say she pregnant and everything, and for him child. Maybe him turn around and say no, him not sure. Maybe him accept, but the same time he don't accept responsibility. He not help her raise the child. The child come up fatherless, but him have a father. We never get no guidance from the father. From the person who lends for him sperm. You see? So, it's not criticizing. And it's not generalizing either. Because we use all these benchmarks to get away from the reality of the lives that we have lived and the life that many of us are still living, and the failure to acknowledge the crap that we put out there. And since we're still here, many of us, we can't change it. We can't change it. Change with self. Not change with clothes, change with self. If I know you're 60 and you have all 7, 8 children about the place and you only know 2 of them, try and know the rest. And humble yourself to say that I was a jackass. Yes, I didn't love the sex of your mother. And why, listen, but some of you get on the bandwagon and support other things and turn around and shout out now that you're a spiritualist and spirituality, and you have the Ankh and you're an Egyptianologist or whatever. You understand? A lie. It's lie. First things first. Cleanse yourself. Go find the children. Go find the sister them. Huh? And organize that side. Organize that side. Be truthful. Be honest. Yes. Then you can move. But you can't do them. If you don't do that, what are you moving to? You're hiding under disguise. And we expect our situation and condition to change? Nah, star. You're not apologizing. You're acknowledging the wrong. And let's say that all the sisters them are healthy. So you can visit them and make atonement now in this life. Can you imagine our child, a person who feel that don't have no connection to his origin? I have to do fathers, spawn donors, is fathom that in your own conscience. Don't tell other people that you are this, and this, and this, and this. Because you're disingenuous and you're lying to yourself. And now you want to big up consciousness and these type of things. Nah, man. They're also fraudulent. Make-believe world I don't know if you find that tune in by Jack Ruby. Yeah. What him name? God bless him soul too. Yeah? You understand? There's so much, man. So, we want to play Sugar Miner. Michael, gone.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just thank you for the birds and the bees.
And you just say, him swear, you know, yeah, I'm human. I'm goddamn human. I'm not no angelic being. You understand? There's so much despicable bullshit that we've been involved with and we're not changed, and then you're still a tell lie. You're properlizing yourself and tell lie. A bunch of ginnals, a lie, and well when you know it. Huh? Propagating a whole heap of bullshit just for what? Get a little bit of fame and collect some money. You understand? Extorting people. When you look about to England, right, you see a monk of black people, them not have church. Church after church after church. Some place that them a do some worshiping thing a go on. Some Pauline thing a go on. Eh? And it's obvious that there's so great practitioners of this thing. And then we say, God damn it, hear what now? We're struggling as a people. We're struggling. Our children are killing children. Our girl children not having children. Our boy child is sexing the girls them and everything. Come on, pastor, do something. And he's going to tell us with the blood of Christ and all of these things. He's not doing anything. How comes a pastor can't tend the field? How comes that whole ceremony don't work on strengthening and removing sinful behaviors and tendency from round about us? And we have so much of this preaching. We have so much of these ministries. We have so much of these people, them call themselves prophets and prophetesses and this and that other thing. Some top names. What is happening? The white man are laugh Charity that way. The Charity Commission feel good because money are coming. And we are sell people. We are corrupt people's soul. We are selling people and then turn around and say that I'm a man of God and God talk to me and all these things. And you rape women. Them things they need to stop. Everywhere you turn, every warehouse and school building is turned into a meeting place. Not a meeting place, no, a gathering to talk about Paul. Now put the law into the people them. If the book tells you say that it is said that I didn't come to change it, I come to fulfill it, why not teach the law? Administer the law to the people them to the best of your ability. The law. And then go outside and exercise yourself as a fisherman also. Because you see, it's a fisherman and a shepherd we work with. I can't tell you why the fisherman. Because you might go get drunk. You see, when you become a good fisherman, you know what you have? Faith. It's not the faith that move mountain, you know. The faith that man can walk upon water, but man needs water. And we consume water. You see? And we're made from water as well. And we're not afraid of water. We shouldn't be. I better say it like that. We shouldn't be. But our food, our fish, they are in the water, aren't they? And many of them come up and take some of this oxygen. But then you have a nation of fish that don't do that. They're deep under there. I would like to explore all of that as a human being. So we have the fishermen, or the fisherman of men and women, of human beings, and we have the shepherd that takes care of the flock. Giant forces. You understand? Giant forces, man. I tell you. These are the things that is needed for us to deal with in this world, and not to forsake the best of ourselves for the worst. Because the best of ourselves is sweet things. You know, it's sweet things. Yeah, this conversation here. See, and that may I try say, you know. Because you say if the people them is good preacher, yeah, good minister, and so forth, that thing would have. Because he must have conversation with the people, and he's doing the job. Whatever is being done is done for the benefit of the people at heart. It's not for him pocket or anybody's pocket. It's for the people at heart. You see? These are the things that I find a problem with. You understand, with people. A serious problem. You understand? No. What I should have been saying is the person who passed, you understand, his father was a man that did teach myself, and Leo Muhammad from the Nation of Islam, and many more other people to do right. Do right, and to learn. So we learned Islam. We learned Islam proper. You see, that's what we did. That's what happened. Abdul Nasser's father taught many of us. And many of the people them that you find about the place they call what? What them call the place? Brixton. Yeah, many of them. Right? And I mean the good ones, you know, because you have some people that did some real strange things about the place. Yeah, you know what I mean? He should not be attributed to that, you see? And, yeah, Abdul Nasser, you know what I mean? We're gonna miss somebody that, you know, would have been a champion among us, around us, and for our children, you see? That's a serious thing. You know what I mean? So, in me saying that now is to say, well, let's look at what it is that we should be doing, you know, as a people. You understand? Because there's so much things that we should be doing for ourselves, and it should have happened naturally for us, But as Enoch Paul projected, you know what I mean, they didn't want us at that level. They was afraid. They was afraid, right? And if we got at that level, it is, what would we turn out to be? You understand? Independent. You see? And we would have keep moving. We strive and strive and strive and strive. And the man get frightened. He just got scared. He said, no, we can't let these blasted niggers get to that level. So this is, and did I say that word? Oh, God. You see? And these are the things that has happened, you know. And where are we today? We're not even playing catch up, you know. I look for a tune, you know. I can't find this tune at all. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where me put the tune them. The tune them run away from me. Yeah, that's it. Right? But people, we have to understand, you know, that we are very, very, very valuable people. We are essential people, you know. And the best part of us is when we are together, you know. When we are together, we are very, very, very strong people, you know. And together, we will do a whole heap of good things. But we just need to be together, you understand? And don't allow other people them to infiltrate us and segregate us and all these things. You know what I mean? Yeah. And have this drive, this warrior drive.
Some of them say them no warrior, but I know them a warrior. Rasta and a warrior, I know no warrior. Some of them a two-faced Rasta, they brutalize their brothers, and then say them a naya, but I know them a warrior.
You see how it take you see how it take me time to find it, and that's the truth. That's what we do. We are going about this and we're going about that. Even me, you have to ask yourself, when really defend? When I defend nothing. You understand? What I used to defend, I did at work. You see? Now me I defend my family. Nothing more. Right? What I want to do is inspire people to turn around and say, listen, we can put this thing to our right. Because all we have to do is just draw ourselves closer and everything. So we want to bring some Islamic ethics and principles, Islamic banking, Sharia law. You understand? Because we're missing. We spend money, we accumulate money, but when I use money correctly, then we lust for money. Instead of looking for the value of life, we think that is money. A lie, it's not. You see, that's why you need a shepherd. I'll go back there again. You understand? And we do make money. We make a whole heap of money. You see, with all the music and everything, there's a whole heap of money. We have these artists and you put on concerts and everything, there's a whole heap of money. So just for argument's sake, it is said that 93 million and plus was generated at the Notting Hill Gate Deaf Carnival. It's only said that because the brother died, it was the reason why that is here, and so forth, and we still ain't got a conclusion as to what actually happened, and no one was charged for his murder. Okay. That being said now, and that being the case over this holiday here, there's money. And not just that money either, but that just goes to show that there is money. Huh? So, what are we not doing? And we know that is required. It's just when we put hole into the Garvey situation, or the Garvey condition, or the Pan-African situation and condition, circumstances, and blindness of them. With all the artists them that talk Garvey, and all the people them that talk Garvey, and even if the artists them speak Garvey, right, what is being organized or has been organized to say, well, here what we're going to put some flesh upon these bones, right? We will have Black Star Line. The major thing that them say, them stop Marcus Garvey from achieving, and them use this mail fraud and whatever, that should be the most determined thing to turn around and say, watch her. When the things they want to stop him, we dare. But it never happened. So, no, you could have said, well, all right, let him go airplane. It didn't happen. It hasn't happened. Right? So much things have happened, and that hasn't happened. So we have to look at ourselves through the lens and things that we have done and things that we haven't done and things that should have been priorities for us. That's what I do. See? So take that, for instance. Take all of that, those instances, and say to yourself, what happened? And no one can put the finger upon it but to say, we just didn't do anything. That's it. Right? So those who now turn around and tell me, shut the fuck up. Here what happened? Go to Houston, go to King's Cross, see, and jump on up, and just, not even bother jump on, just look and listen to the announcements. Huh? And even go to your area where they have real service, not the underground, real service. And you see Version going up and down. And then when you're fed up with that one there, just go to Gatwick, go to Stansted, and go to Heathrow. Huh? You don't even need a binoculars, but if you want to have one, have one. You get a closer look. And you see how many aircraft that's been attended to, refuel and clean by us as well, you know. And clean and make ready to fly out to Africa, fly out to the Caribbean, fly out to South America, Version. Huh? Yeah, I'm telling you. Majority of the team them not go out here of Gatwick is Virgin. Right? They're the boy that become the other day now. Him is one of the same set of people, so I'm not begrudge him. But that Virgin, the reason I speak about him and use that title is because he made a lot of money out of reggae music and the reggae artists. He didn't thief it, but maybe he used him skillful head. Because what me never know about copyright, him knew. And his staffing knew. What we never knew at home, some people have to come abroad to find out what goes on abroad. Some people kill people that was abroad when them come abroad and find out that there's such things going on abroad. And them felt that them ones that was abroad were taking advantage of them. And the ones that was abroad was just like him. But them just get vexed. He just got vexed. He never look at the person who makes the money, you know. He just feels say that others were accumulating when him now get nothing. And two, those others were abroad. See? A lot of unnecessary death. And a heated argument that turn up to death. And a lot of lie stories to say that this person have this and that person have that, and so forth and so forth. And some people lose them life badly. But you see the people that were making the money, them still there. Them families moved up, them gone to good positioning in life in terms of being business people, proprietors, etc., etc. They didn't have to strive for nothing. They had a gold spoon, got a good start. That's because they had a good father looking after their interests. What interests have we looked after? You see, it's things of this nature. Now, you can have this in a reasoning. But it's just that some people don't want to do that because they have a friend of a friend of a friend, and them say, no, that's going to hurt him. Which hurt? Which hurt? So then you go to the Garvey people, now you ask, is that hurting you? Because you haven't, in all these years, you haven't done nothing. And then we got Shasha Somali now and look at the ones them that love Rastafari, love His Imperial Majesty, and them trod by themselves and do a thing, and them can't excel anywhere because, again, international and political alignment didn't happen the way His Imperial Majesty required it to happen. And the Minister of Cultural Affairs and everything else didn't do anything, and they've transitioned, and the other ones that come hasn't look at the thing properly as well. Because, you know what I mean, we are going into another man's land, even though it's part of our home land. So people need resources to make that program, that infrastructure development working. They need negotiation with the government. So it need joint cooperation and resources. So in 73 years, Shasha Somali hasn't been built and it hasn't developed as an infrastructure at all. Come on. Fusion? No. We've just been living illusions. No guidance. A lot of visions, but no guidance. And Garvey left the theory, and we haven't applied. So you tell that to those people out there that are up front singing their song and talking about, not the singers, the ones that keep talking. Right? Then they would turn the story inside now. So what have you done? And I'm saying, hold on a minute. I'm not a Garveyite. Are you the Garveyite? Are you a propagate that? I'm a Muslim. My life is tidy as far as I acknowledge with Al-Islam. And my strength, my guidance is with Muhammad. Yours should be with Marcus Garvey. Mine is with Muhammad to reach, to know and understand and appreciate the Almighty. Yours should be with Garvey to build an infrastructure and to help us and yourself, the children of the slave, the Iroquois, to go back home. And you failed. You failed. You didn't give us an option to go home. That's what he was creating. An option for us to return home. Not by force, but he's making sure that the resources are there. And it was twofold. Whilst we were receiving trade and commerce, we are also going back home. Now, it wasn't a begging, borrowing, stealing from no white man to do it. It was, we were going back home independently. You understand? The reparation thing would have happened because his organization had all those bases covered. So you take the good music and then commercialize it You made it into a private little fandangle and let others who despise it come now and commercialize it and materialize it and benefit from it. And all we do, we have a lot of swagger. No, not we. Yeah, we as black people. We just have swagger. And what's that? Dress, costumes, jewelry. You know, I mean, the same ill that we saw with the hip hop in America is the same thing that's now plaguing reggae or alleged reggae artists. Our performers. No, I wouldn't say reggae. Our performers. And that's sad, because we behave like we're blind. Yeah? Now God Almighty is showing us the deficiency in a lot of things, because watch and see how Icamaus is behaving. What is he projecting? We're not, well, I'm not sure, but there's something going on. You understand? And one set of people is projecting a lifestyle, and it happened to be a female agenda. While the man them is hiding. Them a play hopscotch. Wow. We're in some dangerous times. Because nobody's going to know who is from who isn't. You just have to know who you are as yourself. But show me a company, I'll tell you who you are. So, again, we're going to have to do a Frank Bruno, a lot of duck and diving. And that's what's been happening. So who's being soiled here? Us. Why us? Our children. Who's been influenced here? Us, our children. Who's doing the damage? Us. Who's the one that's conducting and orchestrating this thing? That's the problem. We don't know who that is. But it's being fueled by money, because we're attracted. Those performers are attracted by the money. See? Just the money. And they don't have nothing else to care about. That's sad. Very sad. Too late shall be our cry. It's very, very sad. You see? So hold this tune in your head. Yeah. If the sound boy them never run and go Europe, all that I'm saying, they would have done that already. They would correct the ways already. And 1 and 2 would just be 1 and 2. But they run to Europe, giving a Caucasian people them the level of developing a culture outside of including a culture within their own, and help refine their society from despair. Whilst here, all one is being diminished and we've lost for cause. And then the thing called grime and all these different things that was like punk rock and all these things come of age. And now you've got a lot of disparities among black people. Because you've got the black British, you got the new wave, the new fronts and everything. And then you got those who don't want to classify themselves as no black or no African. Them are British. You see? And the same behavior pattern, you can see that in America too. And then you have the ones that just hustle black people. Then you have the newspaper, I show you, see that there's some guys, some man them that did some fraudulent things. They make a lot of money. What did they print? Them print to say that these like premiership I gotta bring that up. Them call them premiership footballers. You see? And that's just go to show you again, like I was saying about Enoch Pauline. I mean, if we understood and break it down properly, you see that Enoch Paul didn't. He was talking truth. It's just that we have to recognize that this is him country. Come on, man. Where's this thing? Come up here. Right? Them say fraudsters lived like Premier League footballers after a £475,000 phone scam. Now, why is the headline? Why is the headline saying that fraudsters lived like Premier League footballers? They might go after Raheem Sterling again and those others that took their money, took some of their money, and aid and support them family, mother first, and so on. And then people can see the changes that they have made. And this is what these people, them racist thugs that went after them and throw slurs and slander after them and so on. Right? So now, them peep through their little lens and then put this on the newspaper heading. Right? I said to myself, we're at it. So where's our office to shout out this is anti-Semitic? We ain't got no office. We ain't got no office. These individuals get a lot. Hey, them get enough time because, them get catch. Fraudsters. You see? So, it's the way we're being perceived. So, Tapa. Yeah, this is what it reads, say. Right? And that's just goes to show you, if we had a race relation thing put together properly, like those Russians, I tell you, man, a gang of criminals lived the lives of lavish, see? Lavish, they're black, right? Lavish footballers. How did that get into their minds? How did they visualize that? What made them associated footballers with them? There's a message they must send. All right. After conning their victims out of almost £500,000 by using dangerous phone fraud tactics. Yeah? You understand? I'm not supporting the fraudulent persons, but I'm talking about how them use the heading. Lavish football lives. So, wait a minute. What kind of life does footballers that ain't white live? You see? Because these persons just happen to be black people that committed this that's done this thing. You see? Allegedly, I don't know because I wasn't there. You see? And so on. So this is us. This is how people see us. That's why I'm saying that when named that brother there from Tottenham that was at Brighton and them Chris Hughton, right? We should have find Chris Hughton some money and buy Berry and one of them club there and make him do him own thing, as make us do our own thing and just run the thing. But no. And then some of them guys there that we are telling say Saudis. You know, see them people that buy up all of the broke down thing and I do them thing. Manchester City could not be any which way without the Saudi man them money. You understand? This is what that is all about. Newcastle, that guy there wait there hope say that one of them will buy Fame Club. You don't understand, right? So you see, I'm not in the football, and I don't depend on no Saudi or anybody that have the billions and oil money to excel me. Because, you see, when I leave this life, I have to answer for it. So when I join a partnership with nobody, in anything, you understand, I just me and my family, and we're good for go all the time. Principle. See them lyrics there? If I did know. So you see now, this month here, you have like 2 or 3 dances now. One with Fat Man and Saxon and all them. All of these things are go on now, you know. The man them decide say, we're gonna do some serious homework, home cleansing. You understand? And I'm proud of that. I feel good. You understand, to see that. That's what's being promoted, is to go there now and see if them really put the thing together. So hence, the first 7 tune that me play, I try to give them a hint. You understand? It's supposed to go into your record box and stop playing around with your CDs or whatever they try to do and lose sight of the real thing. You understand? Yeah. Rhythm. And there was a man that was mixing, and he had a problem putting musicians them, balancing them out. You understand? And the whole thing got fucked up. That's what happened. And when I must know that, all you sound man them out there, you know. You understand? And now you let them American guy come now and fuck up the thing much more. But the engineer, you see, he had a problem. He had a problem, you understand? Balancing musicians, balancing that sound. So when Steele and Clevie now them come with the acoustics thing and with the Casio and all of them something there, it become easy. You can just turn the RAS volume down. You see? Okay. So that thing got away. Now the white guy them a build all kind of nice things about the place, right? And take the article sound, the human sound, away from, right? Because them a try to reproduce a sound. And that's where that acoustic sound, that electronic sound got flourished. You see? It didn't even take the pattern of the hip-hop guys, you know. Because the hip-hop guys then was using sampler. So they might use James Brown rhythm tracks and sections and everything and use a sampling machine for draw that them instrumentation and everything over there, so, right? And now go on with them thing. So it was a different fusion. But you see when the reggae thing come now, because the man them never want so people them who have access to studio now was very limited, and then there was the exodus out of Jamaica for saving one another lives, that the thing got broke because now the engineers them fled for them life. You understand? And those who have real skills, you understand? Real skills. So you see that you have a band like Third World could exist, and you have not Roots Radix, because people them keep killing off 1 and 2 and 3. Soul Syndicate, huh? And I for we think that, you see. So when I can go and look and you see Augustus Pablo with Soul Syndicate, they are China and different places, one of the greatest reggae band, you know. And the man they're hungry right now and them need medication and everything. Listen. Yeah, but the engineer them get lick off because of a particular engineer. I tell you. And things just get things. So we have to salute our George Pan too. Yeah. And many players of instruments were made redundant. You understand? These are things that we did. Made redundant for Casios.
Father, Father, here I call upon you. Nato. Cheddar. God, the Rastafari, and play thy cards up against these unjust man. Cause thou art the Lord of thy strength. Why cross the arm? Why murmur? Send out thy light and thy truth. Let them lead, let them guide thy into the holy mountain of Zion, into thy tabernacle. From the I will go unto the altar of the Lord God, the Rastafari, and unto the Lord God, the Rastafari, he said, even the night died, sleep will tighten up unto me. He will send I to bind up the broken hearted, gave liberty to the captive, the open of the prison, that is to them that are bound. Come on! So true and love is so pure and love is something that you must tend to. So widen your heart and try to live good in your neighborhood. The Father from Zion above, you always start us to love. Never say go on.
Him is one of our, one of our great, so I must use that word there for him. One of our great arranger, Takazuki. Yeah, great arranger for a band, music. You understand? Very skillful. And Linville Thompson too. Very skillful. You understand? But if the engineers them never run away, well, they had to run away because they have saved them life. You see? Last one I gone. Guidance.
Here comes the judge. Hear ye him. Oh yeah.
I see what me doing right now. There's enough sound that can do them thing there now. You understand? Enough root sound that can do them something there and keep the whole thing proper, well balanced, and still switch across to the best of that which is happening right now, because we have artists, Chronix and all them thing, Ioptane and all them guy there, Christopher Martin and all them. You understand? There's artists out there, there's singers them that need that attention. You know what I mean? That inspiration, so they keep going, so they don't feel so they don't have to jump over the other side for make money over there so and keep over there so and everything. Cause that's a mix up. You see? A mix up. And then with some of them girls, them come now and hang them thing out there so and corrupt some of them. You understand? It's a mix up. So once we keep pushing and don't think say, sometimes you all need to go to Royal Albert Hall and listen to symphony and see how the British culture that is not theirs is German, is German, and Russian, you see? And you see Bach and Beethoven and all these things being reproduced or being reactivated, you understand? So for me, and principle, sometimes when I get away, that's what I'm doing. You understand? Me not call it oldies. No. You understand? For we culture and the thing that make us sober and feel good. You see? Where some other people that turn and say, no man, them thing are a whole thing. You see? So when you go deal with this new thing, you keep going new in it. So you're tired of oxygen, it's old. You're tired of that. You're tired of water, it's old. Is that why you feel good that the people then can pollute the water and kill you? You see? And then they want to burn down the forestry and you not say a word. You see what I mean? All these things, because the first shall be the last and the last shall be the first. So here we go. We have to start look after ourselves, black people. We have a responsibility, You see? So, listen.
Here comes the judge. Hear ye him. Oh yeah, God save the African king. Anyone have anything to say before this just judge? Come say it now and say it like you're glad, and not like you're mad.
Could you imagine teaching a class of children? Huh? Just giving them something and making them understand so that this has been orchestrated, this has been put together by your own people. Huh? We're not do it.
Here comes the judge. Hear ye him. Oh yeah, God save the African king. Anyone have anything to say before this just judge? Come say it now and say it like you're glad, and not like you're mad. For this judge have no mercy in this time.
Court's in session, silence in the court. The court's in session, silence in the court. The court's in session, silence in the court. The court's in session.
Christopher Cumberlas?
Yes, sir.
Francis Drake?
Yes, my lord.
Bartholomew de las Casas?
Your Honor.
Vasco da Gama?
Present Majesty.
Alexander so-called the Great?
I am here, sir. I am here.
John Hannon?
Sir.
James Grant?
Your Honor.
David Livingstone?
Yes, President Marana, President.
John Constantine?
Yes, sir.
Henry Martin?
Yeah.
Arthur Polo?
Yes, sir.
Now say after me. I solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Silence in the court. The court's in session. 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 Silence in the court. The court's in session.
You're all brought here and count one. Robbing and raping Africa. Anthem. 2. Stealing black people out of Africa. 3. Brainwashing black people. 4. Holding black people in captive for more than Hey, quick.
That frighten them, you know, that we can retrace these things and we use them this way to elevate and to teach. We not teach lie. It's true. Listen, in this late night, listen.
I've got a top ranking sound, going to mash the town. So gather the people from around, get them to rock to the sound.
Me know say Fat Man Selector deal with all them tune, you know. I tell you, man, when them finish down listen to Principle and me, them just say, Ratty, that best I go on with. Come on, man, let's dig up the box. Come on, man. Last one gone, Guidance, them a spy.
You really don't want to see your brother make progress.
Yo, Birmingham, I want to come up there now. Seriously, I want to come up there. We have some work for though. We have some work given up there for though. And we want some, you know what I mean? I want to shock up myself, man. I want to exercise my body. You see? Yeah, Quaker what? I want to come up to Birmingham or Bristol, Bradford. You see, Malcolm X Center. I want to come to one of them two places there and shock out and, you know, exercise my body. Yes. I beg, you know. I tell you, no. Come on, man. Someone set me.
You really don't want to see your brother make progress.
Me done do that already.
Some don't want to see their brother make progress. Some don't want to see their sister make progress. So every time they see me pass, so much hot and some of them a laugh. A them you call I spy. A them you call I spy. The rather to see me walk the street and beg. The rather to see their sister walk the street and be a wandering lady. Whoa, yeah. So every time they see me pass, I saw my pint and saw my laugh. I them you call I spy. I them you call I spy. You really don't want to see your brother reach to the top of the goal. But they should know by now they never could have stopped a judgment. Boy,
I Spy gone. Turn up some heat. This was Saxon gonna try to do to them. Watch it.
my selector. I send my selector. Oh, yeah. Operator, you fi turn on the heat. My selector, turn on the heat.
And then I'm gonna go here. And then I'm gonna go here. Birmingham.
Oh, well, oh, yes. I'm going to touch them one by one. My selector, touch them two by two. I'm going to rock them one by one. My selector, touch them three by three. I said yes, no one can stop us now. Oh no, I said yes, no one can stop us now. Oh well, I'm gonna rock them three by three. My
And then me I go say this to them. Watch it.
Joker smoker. Joker smoker. Some
And then if them get heavy-handed, me just do this to them. Watch out.
Revelation time. Revelation time. Do you remember Marcus Garvey?
Sin, and people them just ball out for murder. I tell you.
Revelation time.
See, I get them feelings, you know. Watch it.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
And enough of them lack that, man. They don't understanding. Magic.
Every time I hear the music, I feel like dancing. Every time I hear the rhythm, I feel like.
And then when I know, I say, oh, him get like that. Sure, it. That you liking it. Come back. Yeah, me want to marry you, you know. Watch it. Stay with me. Temptations of sin.
Every time I hear the music, I feel like dancing. Every time I hear the rhythm, I feel like rocking. Make we dance tonight. Come back, we rock tonight. Every time I hear the music, I feel like skanking. Every time I hear the music, I feel like rocking. We're gonna dance tonight. We're gonna rock tonight. This a dancehall style. This a dancehall style. This a dancehall style. So you better mind. This a dancehall style. This a reggae style. Every time I hear the music, I feel like dancing.
You see Roots Radic and John Jolas, yeah, listen that, you know. They know how to put things together. And that's why I'm gone. Best.
Oh, Jah,
see, guidance.
hear thy children pray each and every day. Victimization, that's what I and I get in Babylon. Brutalization, that's what I and I get from Babylon. Natty Roots can't even smoke his eye sheds in peace. He has to be terrorized
A free thing.
by the beast.
Don't confuse nothing.
Stop, don't move, put up your hands.
Air zero.
The rifles were right in my nose. Yeah, one of them say bossy me. The whole of them agree. Because I'm an anati. Trailers, please officer. Don't be like a warrior. Not because you carry more guns.
Guidance.
Carry more guns than a aircraft carrier. Yeah. Don't be like a warrior. Yeah. Oh, please, officer.
Guidance. Listen. Hey, Birmingham, are serious enough? Wanna come up? Bradford. Yes, Muffin, all night jamming. Your guidance. Tune called Guidance.
Oh, I saw you on labor.
Go ahead, wait. Hey, you. Hey, you over there. You. Hey, you, sir.
Oh, I saw you on labor.
Go ahead, wait. Hey, bomber drop. Damn you. Energy. Can't tired.
Now you see, we're gone.